Abi Hazm al-Qurshi al-Dimashqi. He, he was an Arabic physician from Damascus. He was known by his contemporaries as a great physician and Muslim jurist. His ethnicity is Arabic, and he was born on 1213 in Damascus and died on 17 December 1288 in Cairo. We choose this scholar because there is not many people highlighted about his contribution. And we want to explore more about the contribution of Ibn al-Nafis, also to find out the personality of Ibn al-Nafis more deeply. And last one, we want to know what he is mostly influenced on. Ibn al-Nafis' life experience. In 1236, Ibn al-Nafis, along with some of his colleagues, moved to Egypt under the request of the Ayyubid Sultan Al-Kamil. Ibn al-Nafis was appointed as the chief physician at Al-Nasiri Hospital, which was founded by Saladin, where he taught and practiced medicine for several years. One of his most notable students was the famous Christian physician Ibn al-Kuf. Ibn al-Nafis also taught jurisprudence at Al-Masuriya Madrasa. His name is found among those of other scholars, which give insight into how well he was regarded in the study and practice of religious law. Ibn al-Nafis lived most of his life in Egypt and witnesses several pivotal events like the fall of Baghdad and the rise of Mamluk. He even became the personal physician of the Sultan Baybars and other prominent political leaders, thus showcasing himself as an authority among practitioners of medicine. Later in his life, when he was 74 years old, Ibn al-Nafis was appointed as the chief physician of the newly founded Al-Mansuri Hospital, where he worked until the rest of his life.
Next, we move to his educational background. Ibn al-Nafis began his medical education at a teaching hospital, which is B. Maristan al-Nuri in Damascus, built by Sultan Nuri Muhammad bin Ziki in Damascus. At B. Maristan al-Nuri, Ibn al-Nafis would have both access to the medical library and opportunities to practice his craft with patients in the wards, which is both in theory and practice. Ibn al-Nafis' medical education would have drawn on centuries of prior tradition as well as practical experience working with patients. At the age of 33, al-Nafis followed his schoolmate Musaiba. He is a future historian and biographer and moved to the Cairo, where he first worked at the Al-Nasri Hospital and subsequently at the Al-Mansuri Hospital. He even became Al-Mansuri physician-in-chief. Mansuri Hospital was one of the most advanced in the world, in a city reaching its true zenith of power, wealth and influence. And next, we move to his character. He is so determined in pursuing knowledge that he did not marry until he died after a 6 day of sickness. He is also a very pious person. He is also very determined on medicine because he started to explore on environment and living things since he is very young. He will perform dissection on animals and see how their body function.
Next, we go to Ibn al-Nafis' accomplishment. Ibn al-Nafis is a founder of anatomical discovery. There are a lot of anatomical discovery that he have had discovered. First one is pulmonary circulation. He recognized that blood moved from the right to the left side of the heart via the lungs. Second is coronary circulation. Ibn al-Nafis postulated that nutrients for the heart are extracted from the coronary arteries. Third one is capillary circulation. Ibn al-Nafis had an insight into what would become a large theory of the capillary circulation. He stated that there must be small communication of pores between the pulmonary artery and vein, a prediction that preceded the discovery of the capillary system by more than 400 years. Ibn al-Nafis' theory, however, was confined to blood transit in the lungs and did not extend to the entire body. Fourth one is Ibn al-Nafis describing the anatomy of the lungs. Then pulsation. Ibn Nafis disagreed with Galen's theory that the heart pulse is created by the arteries tuning. He believed that the pulse was a direct result of the heartbeat, even observing that the arteries contracted and expanded at different times depending upon their distance from the heart. He also correctly observed that the arteries contract when the heart expands and expand when the heart contracts. The last one is brains. Ibn Nafis, one of the few physicians who supported the view that the brain, rather than the heart, was the organ responsible for thinking and sensation.
So we move to his literary works. First, his commentary on anatomy in Avicenna's canon. When he was only 29, he published this book, which included his groundbreaking views on the pulmonary circulation and heart. They are referred to below 1, 2, 6, and 8. He also worked on the second book, which is the Comprehensive Book of Medicine. This was never completed but was the largest medical encyclopedia to be attempted at the time and is still consulted by scholars until now. And the third book is Theologia's Autodictatus novel. This is the first ever Arabic novel that was published by him. And next is Al-Mujaz fi al-Tib. His innovation, and we move to his innovation. At the age of 29, he published his commentary on anatomy in Avicenna's canon, containing his revelatory thoughts on heart, lung, blood circulation. But to make his discovery, Nafis had to overthrow a theory of circulation created by Galen, the father of medicine, that had stood unchallenged for nearly 1,000 years. Even Ibn Sina accepted Galen's views on blood circulation without questions. This discovery of blood circulatory system is Ibn Nafis' major contribution to medicine. His views about the pulmonary transit of blood corrected some of the inaccuracy that Galen have been worked on. The great physician, he is a great physician. Ibn Nafis was the first who correctly described the constitution of the lungs and gave a description of the bronchi and interaction between the human body's vessels for air and blood. His work, the work and advanced achievement of Ibn Nafis in the study of medicine are described in the following statement. Within men of wisdom, he is the most knowledgeable person with regard to the assessment of the law. He is the most prolific writer, and in all branches of medical discipline, he is equal with the main tree which spring out the light. In the West, he is equal to Aristotle. He mastered all branches of medical sciences and excelled his contemporaries. He was highly respected by all kings and good appreciation and big amount of wealth incomparable with other physicians. He was appointed as chief of physicians throughout Syria and Egypt.
Okay, so how is his works relevant today? So we took one book from Ibn Nafis, which is Buyat at-Talibin wa Hujjat al-Mutatabbin. This book was being a reference book for physicians containing his general knowledge to aid physicians in a diagnosis of disease, treatment of illness, and execution of surgical procedures. For example, there are 3 steps of surgical techniques that have been used until now. Step 1, which he calls the stage of presentation for clinical diagnosis. This is to give the patient information on how it was to be performed and the knowledge it was based on. Second, the operative stage was to perform the surgery itself, and the final step was to have a post-surgery appointment and a routine of checkups, which he calls the post-operative period. There is also a description of a surgeon's responsibility when working with nurses, patients, and other surgeons. Legacy. What is Ibnu an-Nafis' legacy? The first one, Ibnu an-Nafis is regarded as the greatest physiologist of the Middle Age. He left a positive impression on later Muslim biographers and historians for his mastery of medical sciences, his prolific writings, and his image as a devout religious scholar. He formed his own medical hypotheses by challenging Galen's work, and this had set an-Nafis apart as a physician. The second one, Ibn an-Nafis, also regarded as the father of circulatory physiology. He gave an early insight of the coronary and capillary circulation, and a contribution for which he is sometimes described as the father of circulatory physiology. And then we next, how is he remembered now? He is remembered now by the usage of his name on hospitals and schools. There are 3 hospitals that use his name, which is in Marrakesh, Morocco, Manama, Bahrain, in Baghdad, and also a medical center in Abu Dhabi. And there is one secondary school at Yanbu, Saudi Arabia that use the name of Ibn an-Nafis as her school's name. And the last one is the Medical College and Hospital in Islamabad, Pakistan. Next, who did he has a major influence on? Ibn an-Nafis had a major influence on Galen, or the real name is Claudius Galenus. Galen is a great physician, surgeon, and philosopher in the Roman Empire. He is her most accomplished of all medical researchers of antiquity. Galen influenced the development of various scientific disciplines, including anatomy, physiology, pathology, pharmacology, and neurology, as well as philosophy and logic. Ibn an-Nafis was the first person to challenge the long-held contention of the Galen school that blood could pass through the cardiac interventricular septum, and in keeping with this, he believed that all the blood that reached the left ventricle passed through the lung. Ibn an-Nafis belonged to the long period between the enormously influential school of Galen in 2nd century. And the last one, what lesson can we learn from Ibn an-Nafis?
Last but not least, the lesson that we can learn from Ibn an-Nafis is that Ibn an-Nafis was a unique personality in terms of scholarship. He was known by his contemporaries as great physician and Muslim jurist. From the presentation, we can see that Ibn an-Nafis is not only master in medical, but also he is master in philosophy and also history. And then, so from that we can say that we must not learn one thing, but we have to broaden our knowledge by studying other things too. He also learned the medical theory without any bias, and even the medicine from an Israeli physician. Last but not least, he is also not solely just follow and receive the knowledge and information, but he rather studying about certain things again to make sure what he learned is true. That's all. Thank you.